Hello and welcome to my home office studio. It's Sunday, December 1st when I'm recording this, and it's going to go up at the same time because I'm not really good at delaying. Anyway, alright. So, hope you had a good week. I had quite a wonderful week. It was the culmination of the whole month of October. Yesterday we had family gathered for Thanksgiving dinner because, I live in Canada, and so Thanksgiving on Thursday was not a holiday here. I worked on Friday. I worked on site on Friday, so that was a wash. So Saturday was just the best time for it, and it was wonderful. I couldn't find a turkey at all because it's not Thanksgiving here, and they're not bringing them in yet because it's still too far from Christmas. So went to our local grocery store that I like to go to, and butcher had some beef short rib on sale, and that's what we had for Thanksgiving dinner. I hope those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving had a great holiday. This is my monthly favorites video for the month of November 2019. So I'm going to start with all the tarot, oracle, all that kind of stuff. All the, as some people call it, woo stuff. I love that. So cute. Woo. It sounds like what my dog says. I have a husky German Shepherd cross, and she says woo a lot. Anyway, I digress. So I'm going to go through the stuff that the decks I enjoyed using daily in November. The some decks that came into my life in November. Some wonderful gifts that came into my life in November, and and then the end, as I have done, and since I began. I think I've been doing this since I began. There's a little bit of cosmetics at the end, right? It's mainly fragrance. It's mainly fragrance and a lip gloss. I have to mention it because I love that stuff too. All right, let's begin. So, in a previous video, not too many videos ago, I talk about spirit communication and how I went shopping with my parents. So, of course, one of my November favorites is going to be the blanket that I scored at Salvation Army that looks exactly like something my mom would have made. It down to the fringe. So definitely a November favorite. And the colors are a little more muted in person than they are on screen, but I love it, love it, love it. And it's squishy, and again, this this color palette that really these randomly selected colors was totally her artistic style, where she would do this, where it would have like these colors that don't necessarily go together, but create something really charming once they're together. All right, so there's that. The next favorite thing, and I'm so sorry because I left out the scarves that I also got on that trip, and I don't know, I might pause the video and go get them. But the other item I scored in that shopping trip to Salvation Army with the spirit of my parents was the owl mug, and I will go get the scarves because I can. And with the magic of the pause button, I went away for a few minutes, gathered some things, and then came back. And here I am, and to you it's like I was just here. Because I was. Alright, so the same shopping trip with my parents' spirit at the Salvation Army, There was two scarves that drew my attention, and I didn't tell that story. I think I was focusing on my mom. And that's just because when my dad was living, we had a difficult relationship. So I really wanted to, I don't know, you know what I mean. We're all a little messed up. Anyway, so this scarf is one of the scarves that drew my attention. It's definitely something that my dad would have purchased for me at a time that maybe I wasn't ready to wear it, and I would have rejected it silently. I would have just tucked it away in a drawer. But now it is something that I would wear. So there's that. And this beautiful vintage piece, which I absolutely love. It is not my, I washed it, that's why it's all wrinkled. It's not my usual, I don't wear these bold kind of colors typically. It's just something beautiful that I like. I might use it as an embellishment somewhere, or I don't know, maybe I'll wear it. Who knows? But it was like 50 cents. All right, so that's my thrift store purchase with my parents in November as part of connecting with spirit and connecting with the dearly departed. Holy cow! Sorry, people. So my desk has like a mountain of stuff, and I wasn't very good at organizing because again. I'm chasing daylight. So here we go. So that was that. So I'll move on to the decks I used in November. Honestly, for my daily draws, you've seen this in a few videos because it's the deck I've been using. It's in a charming Peggy bag, which I did see they're still on her Etsy shop. Not sponsored, just obsessed. I think it matches perfectly the Wildwood Tarot that Lisa sent me. That it arrived to me trimmed, edged. I love this tarot. This tarot surprised me. I wanted it because I love Will Worthington's art. But I wasn't expecting to be able to read it straight out of, just... you form an opinion. I said this, I think, in another video not too long ago. You form an opinion based on what other people say and what you see on, in a video and stuff like that. And I was expecting this to require me delving into the guidebook, and it was a whole different system, and all these and the keywords were going to get in the way. No. This thing is freaking practical. I don't know if it's because I used it for my daily draws, that I discovered that it's extremely in tune with the mundane. This excellent for career type guidance. Excellent for taking the temperature of your professional life. Fantastic to give clarity to career moves, choices, decisions, and all that stuff. I can't even. It really impressed me. I don't know if I'm ready to put it away yet and work with a different deck this month. Maybe not. It may stick around. So that's the tarot deck I used for my daily draws the whole month of November, and yeah, astounding. Love it. The Oracle decks, because I used to, for daily draws, for different, one of them was my Sacred Path cards by Jamie Sams. Now mine are completely overhauled. Like, these had like quite a bit of cosmetic surgery. They don't look anything like they do straight out of the box. I removed the borders. down all the way down to the black background. I rebacked them because I got these secondhand. They were well loved and sun bleached on the back. So I rebacked them. This was the first deck that I did a full complete modification to. So first I rebacked them, then I trimmed the borders off so I didn't have that contact paper situation where you can't get really close to the edge of the card, which I hate. And then I edged them in black Sharpie, and I freaking love these. So these were my Oracle cards for the month of November. Sometimes I looked at the guidebook. The guidebook is phenomenal. Like for Jamie Sams, like her decks, I have this one in Medicine Cards. The guidebook is phenomenal, right? But I know these cards. So for the most part, I didn't look them up in the guidebook. Occasionally I did, but honestly, the keyword at the bottom and the title and the keyword at the bottom was enough to for me to understand what the message was, and that is what the gift is. Why, so like I mentioned in my video on hashtag I am a fortune teller, my daily draws tarot deck is for what kind of shit do I need to look out for, and the oracle deck is always for the gift in whatever that shit happens to be, good or bad, right? So love it. Again, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to put them away, and it's okay because I mind you, and what I'm gonna say is, take it with a grain of salt. I don't have that many decks that I have to put it away and work with a different one, but at the same time, there's been a little bit of growth in the arsenal situation. It's almost this month, I think, may have tipped me over into collection territory. We'll see. Ooh, and this mug. The other Oracle deck I worked with daily, which I'm so glad, because this one is the Messenger Cards by Sandra Kunz, Canadian artist. I want to say Calgary, Alberta for sure, but I'm not sure if it's Calgary or Edmonton. But I'm so happy. I think I mentioned at the start of this month, that I had put these in. These kept going into the giveaway basket, or the trade away basket, or pass it along basket, or whatever you want to call that basket. And I kept fishing them out because they're so beautiful. So I asked myself, okay, how can I use these? So I thought, okay, well, when at the start of the month, the guidebook wasn't working for me, but the keywords were. So I have to say, the first 3 weeks in November, I just worked with these with the keywords, and they were just fantastic. Happy with them. Then this last week of the month, I went back to the guidebook, because on my video where I talked about the decks I'm using in November, Lisa from Supportive Tarot by Lisa posted a comment, and she says, isn't that funny how people are different? For her, the keywords didn't work, but the guidebook did. So I opened my mind and I revisited the guidebook. Beautiful. Love it. I'm pretty sure this, I'm not pretty sure, I lie. I didn't check. If this deck is still available, I highly recommend it. It's for me, it's a sleeper deck. It really is. But it's captured my heart, and it's in my top favorites, right? And that's I'm really fussy. I'm sorry, but I am. So that's saying a lot if it's in my top favorites. I want to put it somewhere that it doesn't like slide and go onto the floor. Like I said, it's a bit of a mob scene here. All right. I think I only did one reading. I think I did one reading this month. One reading and one spiritual counseling session. It was a quiet month, and I typically like my November that way. Oh no, I did. May have been a couple of more readings. So if you're watching and I gave you a reading and you're counting and you're thinking, hey, wait a second, what about me? There was a couple of readings. There was a couple of email readings. There was a couple of spiritual counselings. So anyway, if you're interested in any of that stuff, it's on. Go to my website. There's a services tab, and the information is there. And if the information is not sufficient, throw me an email. All right. So the deck I always use for reading for other people, except for when I did the spiritual. When I do the spiritual counseling reading, often if it's a matter of having to connect to spirit for that reading, then I brought in my Druid craft. But otherwise, it's my. Can I just say I freaking love this box. This box is made in Poland. It still has the price tag on it on the bottom, made in Poland. I got this at a thrift store last year, the year before. It's exactly tarot card sized. I'm obsessed with this box. It's freaking beautiful. Anyway, my centennial. As you can see, mine is starting. I love it because, well, I use it mainly for readings for other people and also for myself. This is my. Interestingly enough, I didn't include this in my Council of Seven, and I don't know why. Because this is the deck I go to for everything. And the other ones are just a different take, a different flavor, a different point of view, a different, second opinion, third opinion, fourth opinion. But this is the one. But I guess because it's my working deck, it's the one that I use. This is the deck. Is the commemorative centennial of the Rider-Waite. If you're everyone has this deck, or there's so many videos about this deck, and it's just that this is really a really beautiful printing of this deck. And then they really cleaned up the lines. I love the aged kind of there's no stark white, like the border's not stark white. It's also this beigey, tea stained color. Anna from Astral Lady Tarot, I copied you shamelessly. If you can see, there's no copyright on my cards either. I took an emery board to them and a ruler not to go over and accidentally sand off the black lines. And then I used distress ink in antique linen to because when you sand off the copyright, there's stark white cardstock underneath. I went and I just stained it back with antique linen from this product here. So I copied Anna from Astral Lady Tarot. She's awesome. You should go see her. If you don't know who she is, you need to go see her. I will post below her channel. So yeah. So this is my alpha and my omega. The next oracle I worked with this month, and I didn't really work with it because I selected a card when I received this oracle. I selected a card, and it was for one of those multi readings. I think it was for I did a past life reading for myself. Yeah. And I pulled this card, and this card was so, like, it was I mixed the card, like the deck and everything, and it's Sacred Visions Oracle cards, which unbelievable. I love them. I mixed the cards And this was one of the cards that got my attention, which is why I purchased this deck. So this was a new arrival. This was a purchase this month. I paid it like $20 Canadian. It was incredible, and it was awesome, and yeah, and I love it. It's got writing on the back. Don't care. What was I saying? Oh, so I mixed the cards. I picked this one. I read the back. Blew my mind. I read the guidebook has everything that's on the back plus more. It blew my mind some more. So I left this card out for the whole month of November. When I did my year ahead reading last year, the Ten of Swords was my card for November. And at the end of October, I talked a little bit about how my trepidation going into November because of the Ten of Swords. And it is because in the past, the Ten of Swords has predicted tremendous loss for me, and there was loss for people attached to me, but the Ten of Swords for me this month really turned out to be death of the personality, death of the ego, death of person I was. I am not the same person right now that I was at the start of this month. So incredible. I had an incredible Ten of Swords November. And this card also embodies the sentiment of the Ten of Swords. And I love this card. I was going to put it away. Well, because I was going to, at the end of the month, like last night, I was going to put away all the decks I was using and all the cards I had out all month for the new month, and I couldn't put it away. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to scan it and print it up for myself a bit larger, and make myself a copy to hang on my wall, because this image. So the card is number 29. It's giveaway, and it has it says the tagline is, you break it, you bought it, which makes me chuckle. And for every action you take, there's a reaction, a cost that must be measured with balance and a replacement where your world is concerned. The action must measure the fragility of the item and the realization that there is only one unique and irreplaceable. When we are young, we often go to the big pawn shops in the sky and we trade something priceless for what we think we want. Years later, it's common to go back when we're desperately in need of what we gave away to see if we can get it back. But it was sold long ago and forever. We lose family, talents, loves, and ideals in this great exchange. We don't think about how selling out eventually breaks us into pieces. On the other hand, if what you sold could be redeemed, who would be the redeemer? If the cost is a broken you, is the redemption a restored you? Is it possible that you've been whole all along, but lack the loving eyes to see it? I can't even tell you. And I'm not going to read from the guidebook as well, but this had me down to a T. Beautiful. So, Sacred Visions, Oracle cards. If you want me to do walkthroughs on any of these decks, please, by all means, feel welcome to post in the comments below. But it's 23 minutes, 24 minutes, and I still haven't gone through half of what I wanted to talk about. And yeah. Oh, by the way, you may want to pause, use the restroom, get yourself something to drink, a snack, because I'm not even halfway. All right. So that's an oracle that came into my life that I'm loving, and not ready to put it away. And then the last oracle deck that I used for my month, like as the card, I had this card out on my sacred space, right, where I leave the cards, where I do my daily draws. And I do this. I don't have an altar in my bedroom. It's basically in my dresser that I do this, and there's a mirror, and very standard. And this is from the Mother Mary Oracle by Alana Fairchild. And this was the image of Mary that I picked at the start of the month. And it's Our Lady with the Moon at her feet, which is a Madonna that I am familiar with. Like it's iconography that I am familiar with. The Madonna standing on the crescent moon. So, so there's that. I'm trying to see. Yeah. And I have to say, because of the kind of month I had, where I was letting go of a lot of baggage. I was letting go of a lot of old ideas, and I was just shedding my skin, my metaphorical skin, and moving on with my new life. There was a lot of Mother Mary influence in my month. I prayed to her a lot. I consulted her a lot, and she consoled me a lot. And I had a lot of Mary this month. Oh my God, I'm sorry, people. So this is an oracle deck that, if you have the least bit of interest in walking with Mary, working with the Blessed Virgin, Mother Mary, if you come from a background where you were raised with La Madonna and you want to reconnect, this is a beautiful oracle. It's not just with this one. I'm not a guidebook person. It's very difficult for a guidebook to connect with me, and this guidebook for me is a little much. And I wasn't using it, and I saw Don Michelle from Boho Tarot. She had talked about her Mother Mary Oracle and how she doesn't relate that well, or doesn't jive with the guidebook, so she just works with the images. Well, for me that was like a breakthrough, because I don't even know why I didn't think of it. And since seeing that video, I look at this deck differently. The guidebook stays in the box on my shelf. The deck is out, and it's fantastic. I think that because there isn't much available, like this is mass market and easily, this is mass market and easily obtainable. It's fantastic. Can't recommend it enough. Not sponsored. I paid for it. Everything here, unless I received it as a gift, was purchased by me. Another oracle. So now I'm going to talk about the things that came into my life in November. So first, this is Brian and Wendy Froud's Heart of Fairy Oracle. That is, sadly out of print. And I say sadly because I was fortunate enough that the lovely Natalia from Ouroboros lent me hers. Okay, look how awesome is that, right? She actually suggested, I'll lend it to you, take it for a spin, and then, because I'm going to compare it to the other Fairies Oracle and then do a video on how their voices are different and the energy is different. From the moment I received it, already it was on my wish list, because it went out of print so fast. Like I don't even know how long it was available, but I missed out. And so it's been on my wish list for a very long time. And the minute I received it and held it in my hands, I knew that it's going to remain on my wish list. So if you're out there and you have one of these and you absolutely hate it, hit me up. Trade, I don't know, because I love it. Now I'm not going to talk too much about it, because I am going to be recording a video where I discuss the difference between the energy of this deck and these fairies and the ones from the Fairy Oracle. But I just want to say that I only asked, when I received it, I asked a question. And it's funny how, I guess because Heart of Fairy and it's the wisdom of fairy transforms life and relationships, it was a question about a very old, something in the past that I don't even think about it anymore, but for whatever reason it came to mind when I saw this deck. And I asked the question, and the answer that it gave me, never in a million years would I have imagined that answer, but it gave me closure. That is remarkable. So that's all I'm going to say about this deck for now. Was that one question I asked it when I first got it, and how in a very short paragraph, in a sentence, it gave me closure on a situation that was very, very old. So, like old in a distant past kind of thing. So stay tuned for, there's going to be that video comparing the two families and what I think of them, or comparing the two decks and what I think of them, and how they compare, how they're similar, how they're not, how I relate to both of them, that kind of stuff. I think it's gonna be, hopefully it'll be fun. Anyway, the next deck that came into my life was a generous gift by, and I'm going to preface the rest of, like, when I'm talking about the gifts and everything, stupid me, I forgot to ask the people who sent them if it was okay for me to mention them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to thank you in the video, and I'm not going to mention your name, any of you, because I'm not, I think I asked one person of all the stuff I received, and I can't remember who it was that actually responded, or who it is that I asked, right? So here we go. So to the lady who sent me this, in a video, in a couple of videos back, I talked about how I went down to make playing cards, and I printed up I put in an order to print up a Greenwood Tarot for myself. Once I submitted it, I realized that it was going to be shit when it arrived, because I selected, anyway, it was shit when it arrived. I don't even have it with me here. I think I don't know where it ended up. But I already knew I was going to receive shit from the one that I ordered. And this wonderful lady sent me an email, who watches my videos, and she offered me one that she had made by Make Playing Cards that is amazing. It's beautiful. It's the linen cardstock. And I got the linen cardstock on mine too, but what a waste on the fact that the one that I had made, the image, the sides are completely cut off, and there's just too much information missing from each card, and it's very faded, it's very washed out, the one that I had made. But this is the one that was sent to me by a wonderful, wonderful, generous lady. She had this made from Make Playing Cards, and they look a little washed out here just because of the lighting, but they're not. They're vibrant, they're beautiful. Unlike me, the cards she had made are not missing a bunch of information on the sides. I love the choice of font at the bottom for the titles. The cards is that linen finish. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. You know who you are. I love them, and I cherish them, and I really look forward to, I already worked with them a little bit, because these also surprised me that they sing to me. Love them. And look at the backs. Beautiful. And I haven't edged them yet. I don't know if I will, because I kind of like that kind of edge. So I might not edge them, I'm not sure. And she sent them to me in a tin box. Beautiful. Thank you. The next deck, oh my god, people, it's 30, almost 35 minutes. Okay, I'll try to speed it along. The next decks I received this month were from a trade. And I think this is the person that I asked if I could mention their name, but I won't, because I'm not sure. I have to pinch myself. These have been on my wish list forever. And I have the phone app for this one, which I use daily. I was using daily until I got the cards. And she sent me an email saying that she had these. And we did a trade, and I love them. I love them. Oh my God. I still absolutely can't get over this. So that's Tarot the Crone and Dark Goddess Tarot. My life is complete. The next, this is a deck and oracle set that came into my life this month. This was gifted to me by the lovely Natalia from Ouroboros. And I can mention her name because I've already mentioned this in a previous video. And it is the Pythonic Tarot and the Black Mirror Oracle. So this is the Oracle. Still in order. And I'm not sure, I might be working with this in December. I haven't decided yet what I'm working with. I'm going to do, after I record this video, I'm going to go to my shelf and see what I'm inspired to work with. And then this is the Tarot. And these are out of order because I actually started using them. And comes with a very extensive guidebook. Both of them do. They come with, and the set comes with a grimoire. But I'm not going to dwell too long on these because I did a walkthrough video. I think it might have been just my last video. There's a walkthrough on it of both. All right. And the last deck that came into my life this month is one that I ordered. And it's actually two decks. It's Red Seed's Oracle 1 and 2. Red Seed Oracle. See, I put the box away. And if you, I think Natalia from Ouroboros has these. I think Kasha has these. Anyway, I was just drawn to the artwork, and it's basically, these are two combined goddess decks. One of them, Red Seed Oracle 1, features translated poetry by Rumi, and Red Seed Oracle 2 has poetry by Sappho. And so that's the front of the cards. That's kind of, and you know, again, if you want to walk through, let me know. I'm not going to do a walkthrough because I'm almost at 40 minutes and I still have more to talk about. So I saw this deck and I said, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to get it. So this is the one deck that I purchased this month. And on the back, they're not the same, but it reminds me of my Susan Sid and Boulay cards, Goddess and Animal one, with the write-up on the back. Except this one has, it tells you who, so this is Nyx, and an artistic rendition of Nyx. And then it tells you who the goddess Nyx is. And then there's the wisdom. And then here you have the challenge and the gift at the bottom. And I picked a card when I first got it, and the card that I picked was, like at random, was I Am Compassion, Kuan Yin. And the challenge is harshness, the gift is compassion. And I read this right away as me needing to work on self-compassion. Because for the most part I have compassion down. It's the self-compassion that I do not. So that's the new, these are two. I bought Red Seed Oracle 1 and 2 by Linda Hill. I hope I remember to put the link at the bottom. If not, if I forget, post a comment asking about it if you're interested to check it out. The so there's two other things I received this month. Again, I forgot to ask permission, but these are items that are very very meaningful to me. Um, Someone who I knew virtually, I had known virtually, I want to say 20 years, passed away this year. And their loved one sent me their rosary beads. Look at this. Their saint cards. Little icons here. More rosary beads. Tremendous honor to receive these things. Thank you. It's a very meaningful gift, and I will cherish them forever. And my friend, I didn't ask if I could say her name either, sent me a beautiful care package, which I haven't used anything yet from because I was going to start the new month with it. Beautiful care package. I want to say I already showed this, but I'm not sure. But it has a little smudge stick, cedar. Yeah, that's cedar. Selenite wand, which I love. Selenite, it's one of my favorites for sure. There's a dream pillow that she makes. Bath salts also that she makes. And a beautiful little red candle that smells like red hearts, like red hots. Yeah, red heart. You know those little hearts that are cinnamon candy? Yeah, they're red hearts. So I'm looking forward to using this stuff as, like today. We're almost at the end, folks. Thanks. If you're still with me, oh my gosh, thank you. Crafts. Oh no, some other random things, not random. I received a beautiful gift box from my friend Jen, who, her channel is, oh my God, Science to Soul. Oh my Lord, it's like, once you become friends with someone, it's like, they're Jen, right? Your friend Jen. Science to Soul Tarot. And I've been carrying this rock with me since she sent it to me. This is Australian mookaite. I think it's a type of jasper. And I am obsessed with it. I just love it. First of all, we don't have this here. And I did a little research on it, and I think this is not polished or tumbled or whatever. This is at its raw state. Which, look at it, it's just incredible looking. And then I've seen it polished, or I think it looks like peanut butter or something, like peanut butter and chocolate mixed together, something mental like that. Anyway, I love this. I had this in my pocket every day this month. It's been in my pocket. It goes everywhere with me. And then when I take it out of my pocket, I put it on my cards for, my daily draw and whatever. But for the most part, it's on me, and I love it. She sent me this beautiful turtle who now lives on this, because I prefer the black waxed cord, so that the turtle stands out. And she sent me that beautiful turtle, which I absolutely love, that I've been wearing pretty much almost every day this month, except at work where, it's inside the shirt. It has to be. It's the nature of my job. I don't even wear my rings because they're too loose. I'm afraid to lose them when I'm washing my hands 150 times a day. This is something I got Thrift, this bracelet, and I don't know. I thought I'd mention it because I really like it. It's like these glass beads. I've seen these kind of bracelets at craft fairs and stuff like that, so it was pretty neat to pick one up at Thrift for like $1.50. The only craft I did, so this month I had to put in an order for some tarot bags because I just don't have time to make any. So, but I haven't received them yet because I just ordered them a couple of days ago. Again, not sponsored, just obsessed. Peggy bags. I ordered a bag for my Red Seed Oracle cards, and one for my Greenwood Tarot. And yeah, I may have to order another one just because I haven't had time to make any. But I did have time this month. Early in the month, I made myself a bag for my Raven's Prophecy Tarot. And I'm not quite sure if the lighting here is if it's gonna translate with the lighting, but this orange is an exact match for the orange on the cards, and I got it, you know, the usual way, thrift. And this is Haida art, local to where I live, which is really interesting because my sorella Donna, she had sent me this raven sculpture, raven head sculpture, that's Haida art, that I think she got it from an artist here in BC and sent it to me in BC, or maybe I was still in Ontario when she sent it. I don't remember, but I just thought this would be like, you know, it just suited this bag perfectly. And again, I don't know if it's going to translate with this lighting. Doesn't really translate, but it's a complete match with the muted orange, that dusty, grayed out orange. And I just love it. So that's the only crafty thing I did this month. And it was, I think it was a couple of weeks ago that I made this. It was earlier in the month. And then it got crazy. Like good crazy, but you know, no time to. And I really shouldn't be like wasting your time tying up my little bag when I can do that when I'm done recording. Library book. My daughter went to the library and she brought something back for me that she knew I would love, and she's not wrong because I asked her to renew it, because even though I read it, because it's like, you know, is Joy of Cookies by Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster's Guide to Life. And there's nothing in here I haven't read before or I haven't heard Cookie Monster say. I love Cookie Monster. I mean, you know, I've loved Cookie Monster since I was a little girl. He's just a couple of years older than me. You know, if life had turned out differently, I may be Mrs. Cookie Monster. You know, we don't know. But yeah, it's this. There's cookie recipes in here, and there's home where heart is, heart where cookie is, math clear, home is cookie. You know, so this also has one of my favorite Cookie Monster quotes. What is friend? Friend is someone you give your last cookie to. And the other one would be, you know, if you're having a bad, I'm paraphrasing, but you know, if you're having a bad day, about eating a cookie. See, now I have to look for it. In case of emergency, break glass, eat cookie. Be the monster your cookie deserves. I think those of you who may have seen the meme know which one I'm talking about. It's the one about cookie not diet because cookie is lifestyle. Oh my god, look at him in a suit, in a tuxedo. Okay, so I think it's clear. You know, I'll know how I feel about Cookie Monster. So yeah, I can't find the one about living in the moment. And if you're having a bad day, have a cookie kind of thing. And it's terrible that I can't even paraphrase it correctly. But anyway, home stretch, people. We're almost done. So now I'm going to talk about a couple of one thing is not really cosmetic. So this, one thing I have really been enjoying is, I could use it as a room spray, but I don't like to waste it as a room spray. I actually wear it as a body spray, and this is my Goddess spray. And the recipe for the Goddess spray is very simple. I use cosmetic grade rose water. So I use the Heritage brand that I buy at the food, natural food store, the health food store. Not the food grade rose water that I often get at the supermarket because it's a little flat. I like the cosmetic grade one. And if they have the one with glycerin, which I think for this stuff I use the one with glycerin, it helps to emulsify, which is what it helps to do is keep the oils that you add to the rose water mixed in because of the viscosity of that bit of glycerin, which is a liquid wax that is found in that. So there's the rose water with glycerin is one ingredient, which is most of it. Then I added musk perfume oil that I got from an online source for magical supplies, right? So I think it was Mélange Magique that I got it from. Now it's dragonmoon.ca. If you're in Canada or in the States, you can check them out. I don't know if they still carry it, but it's the musk fragrance oil. Not essential oils. I didn't put any essential oils in here, and I'm not going to go into it in this video because we're almost at an hour. But I do not use essential oils at all for magical work, and I only use some very basic essential oils for anything else in terms of like skincare or whatever, or diffusing in my diffuser. And that's a whole other conversation for another video. The fragrance oils are stable, shelf stable, and they are safe. In terms of in terms of allergies, I'm not allergic to them, and they don't harm my dog if I'm diffusing. If I'm using this in the air, I don't have to worry about my dog getting sick from essential oils. That's as much as I'm going to say. So, in one of these bottles that I bought at the health food store, I filled it mainly with rose water with glycerin. It comes with the glycerin already in it, but if you don't have it, you could always add glycerin to it. And then I added enough musk for me to like it, like to taste, right? And then I added a little rose fragrance oil, not rose otto, not natural rose oil, but rose fragrance oil, also from Moonwise, I think was the brand, to bump up the rose scent. And there's a little rose quartz in there that you might be able to hear. And I just shake it before I spray, and very refreshing. And it's one of the fragrances that I absolutely love. It's basically a rose musk, and for me it's and then I do the whole thing where it sits out from new moon to full moon on a windowsill, and it's my goddess spray. And for me, because of the rose and the musk, it's both it's goddess, it's Mother Mary, it's feminine, it's divine feminine oil, basically, not divine feminine spray, fragrance spray, and I just love it. Okay, that was really long-winded for what this was, but I don't make a lot of stuff. I used to make a lot of stuff. I haven't had time, so this is still something that I had that I made. This is something that I have that I made last year. And I try to use it sparingly because I'm not sure I'll be able to get that musk again. The rest is cosmetic. If it doesn't interest you, thank you for hanging around this long. And there's about a few minutes left, and I'm going to talk about the cosmetics that I used a lot in November. Nothing really out of the ordinary. My usual wild musk. This is the one that's still available. This one's still widely available is a bit of a misnomer. It's when you find it at like Walgreens, Walmart. In Canada, it's maybe around Christmas. It comes in a 4-pack with 3 other musks that don't matter. This for me is a daily staple since I was 10 years old. I have vintage of this, but not to burn through my vintage supply, I stretch it with this. Daily, especially for work, is my strawberry lip smacker. I'm partial to the jumbo size, the biggie size. So when I can get them, I'm pretty happy. I'm also partial. This company was sold. This was a company out of Lakeview, Ohio for like my whole life. And then, like from my childhood, right? And then they sold. And you'll see lip smacker products that are, have Disney characters and stuff like that. All that you'll see it says made in China. It's not the same formula. If it says made in USA, it's still the same. It's the same recipe. And it's a really good recipe. If you look it up online, I used to have it somewhere, but there's good stuff in here like castor oil and vitamin E, and it's like, anyway, it's a great product. And strawberry, classic. I think this was the first flavor they ever made. I've been using this since, not this exact one, obviously, that's ridiculous, you know what I'm saying. I've been a lip smackers consumer probably since 1978. Yeah. Anyway, and two fragrances, as soon as the weather turned cool, two fragrances that I've been, wearing evenings, going out and stuff like that, which we don't do a lot of, but when we do, this is what I like to wear. One of them is, you've seen this before probably in another video, is Obsession by Calvin Klein. This is vintage from 1985 or 86. This smells like leather, vanilla, a little bit of cinnamon. Love it. A little goes a long way, which is why there's still so much. Like I still have, this is like from 1985, this bottle. I have another bottle in my perfume collection, my fragrance collection, that is also of this vintage. But this is my original bottle from 1985. So you could tell it's like one spritz is enough. You don't want to gross people out. Or at least I don't want to. You do whatever you want to do. Sometimes you want to gross people out. I don't know. A little passive aggressive kind of aggression. Passive aggression. Anyway, and the other one, also from 1985. This is vintage, but it's not my original one. I got it vintage. This is Salvador Dali. And this is, both of them are orientals. This is a floral oriental. This is beautiful. This is very femme. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And it goes well as casual and dressy, and it's an all-arounder. It's beautiful, beautiful. And this bottle, oh my God. See, I have a current one, and this is my vintage one. And I think the only difference between the vintage one and the current one is that because of age, the nose has darkened a little bit. But yeah, this is still available online. It's out of production, but it's available online. And it's making me think, probably I'm facing the wrong way. You can't see Dali's signature. And it's making me think that maybe I want that Dali Tarot. We'll see. And I think we're done. We made, one last thing. One last thing. I'm almost at an hour. This is the longest video I've ever recorded. I scored this at a thrift store for like $4. It's an excellent shape. It's basically a men's, it looks like it's a men's European carry-all, like they say in Seinfeld. On Seinfeld. You have the pouch for the sunglasses. The pouch on the back is definitely 1990s cell phone shape. The reason I got it is because it has all these multiple compartments, and I thought it would be great either as a little divination spell kit, supplies on the go kind of thing, where I could put in, if for traveling, right? If I, tarot deck, an oracle deck, some Saint Magic supplies, some natural, natural magic supplies and stuff like that. Traditional magic supplies, you know what I'm saying. Stuff, right? Like a, and then you just toss it in a tote bag and whatever, and nobody knows. So yeah, crystals, whatever. I just thought, I don't know, there was something, it's because it's like this crazy vintage thing from the 90s that I thought was pretty cool, and it's in excellent condition. I gave it a good cleaning and polish. All right, thank you so much. I've just hit the 1 hour mark. If you're still with me, thank you for watching, and yeah, I should let you go. Thank you, and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.